Hello, please join me in Gasho. When I attain Buddhahood, I will cause my name to be heard throughout the countless Buddha lands of the 8 quarters, the zenith and the nadir. All Buddhas will preach my virtues and the perfections of my land to the multitudes of monks in their own lands. There will be none among devas, human beings, and even insects that fly, crawl, or creep, who upon hearing my name fails to awaken a heart of compassion. Dancing with joy, they will all be enabled to come and be born in my land. Namo Amitabuts, Namandab, 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 Namandab. While the Obon service is a somber spiritual gathering in which we remember those who have departed this life, the Bon Odori, or Bon dance, is often referred to as a gathering of joy. The Obon tradition comes from the Ulumbana Sutra, which tells the story of Moggallana and his mother. Moggallana uses his advanced spiritual abilities to find the realm his mother is dwelling in after her death. He sees that his mother has fallen into a terrible state in the afterlife, as she was reborn in the hungry ghost realm. Despite his advanced abilities, Moggallana is unable to assist his mother on his own. The Buddha advised Moggallana that the only way to help her is to make offerings of food and drink to the monks at the end of their rainy season retreat. When Moggallana does so, his mother's suffering is relieved, and he celebrates her liberation by clapping his hands and dancing for joy. As Shin Buddhists, we have a slightly different understanding of the message in this sutra. Obon and Bon Odori aren't about making supernatural journeys, guiding our loved ones to return to this or a better realm, or making offerings to ghosts. The Ulumbana Sutra reminds us to reflect on all those who came before us and consider what they gave to enrich our lives so that we could be here today. As we gain awareness of the great compassion that is beyond ourselves, we, like Moggallana, respond by dancing joyfully out of gratitude. As many of you might recall, we were unable to hold an Obon service or Bon dance at the Buddhist Temple of San Diego in 2020 due to the pandemic. And last year in 2021, we held a Hatsubon service in the Hondo that was by invitation only, followed by a scaled-back version of Bon Odori in the temple's parking lot. Due to COVID protocols, even those limited events lacked the rituals that we're accustomed to. The pandemic and our desire to keep the Sangha safe and healthy stripped much of the ritual from our spiritual activity and from our lives in general. And just as the story in the Ulumbana Sutra causes us to reflect on our departed loved ones and their contributions to our lives, the lack of or the changes to our Obon service and Bon dance causes us to reflect on the importance of ritual in our lives. Not too long ago, we had a visitor attend a Sunday Dharma service at the temple. After the service, they were talking with one of our fairly long-time and very active Sangha members. This person was a bit familiar with Buddhism, but not with our particular Pure Land school of Buddhism. The visitor had enjoyed the service very much and was interested in learning more and possibly attending another service. They mentioned that they had been to other Buddhist gatherings, although not specifically to temples, and had been meditating for a couple of years. I had overheard pieces of this ongoing conversation, and it was about this point that the Sangha member said, "Hey, Sensei, come meet a visitor." The Sangha member introduced us and explained that I was one of the ministers. The visitor was pleased to meet me and remarked that, as a Buddhist priest, I must spend a lot of time in meditation. I gently explained that while I have and do meditate, as seen in that morning's service, meditation is not a central part of our Buddhist practice. The visitor seemed to feel that there was something wrong with a Buddhist priest that wasn't constantly engaged in meditation. They eyed me suspiciously. In fact, they wanted to know, if I don't engage in meditation all of the time, what do I do? I explain that I lead the services, like the one they just attended, conducting the ritual, chanting, sharing the Dharma, and study the Buddhist teachings, read books, listen to Dharma talks, chant sutras, etc. The visitor continued to eye me suspiciously. I began to feel that they were equating Buddhism with meditation, and the fact that I didn't mention meditation in my list of practices somehow made me an inauthentic Buddhist, and probably not at all really qualified to be a minister. It's not that I don't meditate at all or have never meditated in my life. I used to go to some Zen temples when I lived in Japan, and have even tried to sit zazen once upon a time, although my legs and back won't let me do that anymore. I don't have anything against meditating or meditators. Some of my friends are Zen Buddhists. I've even meditated at a friend's temple here in San Diego. I've both joined others sitting in meditation and have meditated alone. While I don't think I'll ever become enlightened by sitting in meditation, it does help to quiet my mind and has other physical and mental benefits. The one thing it doesn't do, even when I meditate with others, is make me feel connected. Sure, I feel the energy of being in a room full of quiet meditators, but I feel more energy, the kind that hums in my chest when I chant with others, especially when chanting Shoshin Nembutsuge in Wasan. Chanting is a form of ritual. The chanting connects us to the sutras we are voicing, the Buddhist masters who wrote the words, and the Dharma contained in the words. Chanting Shoshin-ge is a ritual that can allow us to establish an emotional connection to Shinran Shonin, to the teachings he expounded, to those we are chanting with, to our teachers' teachers, and to our Sangha members, to all Sangha members who have come before us, and so on. Where meditation can separate and isolate us. In fact, I'm usually alone with my thoughts in my own head when I'm meditating. Ritual, such as chanting, joins and unites us. And ritual is also much more than chanting. In a religious sense, rituals are ceremonies, rites, and actions done in a prescribed manner. Have you ever placed your palms together in Gasho? That's a ritual. Have you ever entered the Hondo by bowing slightly, then stepping forward with your left foot first? That's a ritual. Have you ever offered incense by following specific movements? That's a ritual too. In a secular sense, rituals are any set of actions that are conducted routinely in the same manner. Perhaps you have a morning ritual that involves things like showering, brushing your teeth, and having a cup of coffee. Perhaps you have a family ritual of eating dinner together every evening or visiting relatives and sharing a meal with them on a Sunday. Perhaps you have a nighttime ritual that includes letting the dog out, of course back in again one last time, locking the doors, and turning off the lights before going to bed. As Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, we engage in many rituals, both religious and secular, in our daily lives. At least I know I sure do. Sure, as a Buddhist priest, I do chant daily. I also go through the small rituals of lighting a candle and burning incense at my obutsudan at home, of placing my palms together in gasho, bowing, and voicing the Nembutsu, or Namo Amida Butsu. These various rituals remind us of how we're always illuminated by and connected to the working of Amida Buddha. It's unfathomable and limitless light and life that exists every day and in every aspect of our lives. This time of year, a period we tend to call Obon season, which runs from about June through August in BCA temples and churches, we Shin Buddhists engage in many rituals that connect us to a multitude of lives. We connect with loved ones who have passed away, with Sangha members who have come before us, with current Sangha members, and with Sangha members who will follow in the future. The Bon Odori, or Obon dance, is an annual ritual of both solemn remembrance and joyful celebration. The Obon service usually precedes the Bon Odori, and together these activities present a collection of rituals that juxtapose the sorrow of loss and the joy of living. Those who have lost a family member in the years since the last Obon will perform a small ritual of lighting a candle during the Hatsubon service to remember and honor their loved one. The candle's light symbolizes the Shin belief that the deceased has become one with the Buddha of infinite light and life, and now illumines our life. In that manner, our loved ones are always with us, connected to us and embracing us with the wisdom and compassion of enlightenment. The service is usually followed by the Bon Odori, a set of ritualistic dances in which we celebrate and remember the lives of those who have passed away, and simultaneously celebrate the lives of all who presently surround us. It's considered a joyful gathering, and each motion of the dance has meaning, similar to how the motions of the Hawaiian hula have meaning, as the living and the deceased are said to be celebrating together, being embraced by infinite wisdom and compassion of the universe. Ritual connects us, it settles us, it uplifts us, it soothes us, it strengthens us, and it heals us. Bon dances are rituals of remembrance and joy, connecting us to those who have gone before us and celebrating the truth that our loved ones remain in our lives even after their death. Rituals such as chanting or Obon dancing are powerful because they're deliberate and intentional activity. The connection we feel when we perform rituals can transcend time and space, uniting us with all life, giving meaning to our own existence. I hope this year, during Obon season, you might experience these rituals, awaken a heart of compassion, and leap and dance with joy. Gasho, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda.